Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. The Ministry of Education and Partners COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program is a 30-minute radio intervention support program that is meant to provide continuous instruction to keep you academically engaged during this stay-at-home period, as well as preparing you, our 6th, 9th, and 12th graders for the pending Liberia Primary School Certificate Exam, Liberia Junior High School Certificate Exam, and West Africa Senior Secondary Certificate Exam when the time comes. Also, in addition to this academic support, the program is meant to provide psychosocial support for learners, teachers, and parents, and also tips on how you as parents and teachers can provide support to your students and children at home. Now, let's join our teacher for today's lesson.
Hello students, we are teachers Che Kriboti K. Solomon
and Mr. Aaron T. Bala
of Rising Academies. This is the Rising Youth Movement Partnership for the Ministry of Education COVID-19 Teaching by Radio program. Our lesson today is Language Arts, lesson number 12 for the student of grade 3 and 4, and the topic is Liberia's water resources. While we listen to these COVID-19 health tips, please take out your notebook, pencil, and get ready for today's lesson. Again, welcome and let's learn.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor.
Now it's time for our lesson. We have 6 fun activities today. Number 1, sentence warm-up. Number 2, sight words. Number 3, gradient blending. Number 4, write and read. Number 5, listen and write. And number 6, read aloud. Let's have a great class together. First, it is time for our sentence warm-up. Today, our practice sentence is, Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. You will listen while I say the sentence 2 times. Then, I will tell you when it is time for us to read the sentence together. Ready? Listen first. Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. Okay, when I say your turn, then we can all say it together. Ready? Your turn. Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. One more time. Liberians use river as a means of transportation. Great. When I hear the sentence, Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation, I think about a man paddling a canoe on a river with people in it. A boat carrying fishermen and their fishing tools on a river. I see men using a ferry to take people and goods across a river. I want you to think about how you will do a drama for the sentence, Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. Will you pretend to be paddling a canoe? Will you be controlling the machine attached to a fishing boat? Or will you be pulling the rope to take the timber ferry across the river? I will give you 5 seconds to think about how you will do a drama to show the sentence, Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. I hope you have your drama idea ready. Now, I will say the sentence and you will do your drama. Ready? Your turn. Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. Wow! The students here with me did a wonderful drama. I wish I could see your beautiful drama at home too. I am sure you did a great job. Now, I have some questions for you. When I ask the question, if the answer is yes, stand up. If the answer is no, sit down. Number 1. Do people use bicycle to cross a river? Do people use canoes to cross a river? Can you cross a river by train? The last question, can you use a boat to transport goods? Wonderful answering those questions. Now, let's say the word transportation. I wonder if you can tell me how many syllables in the word transportation. You will listen while I clap the syllables in the word. Then, I will tell you when it is time for you to try. Listen first. Transportation. Transportation. Your turn. Transportation. One more time. Transportation. Great. How many syllables in the word transportation? Yes, there are 4 syllables. Transportation is one word with 4 syllables. Is transportation a noun, a verb, or an adjective? Remember, a noun is a word that names person, place, thing, or idea. Transportation is a noun. Transportation is used to tell what rivers are used for. Rivers are used for transportation. Great job! Now we move to our next activity called sight words. This is the new part of our lesson where we will review sight words. Sight words are words that we use a lot, so we want to be able to read them quickly when we see them. In your notebook, I want you to have a special place where you will write your sight words. Every day you will put your sight words in the same place. It will be at the front of your notebook or it will be at the back of your notebook. But you need 4 pages only for sight words. On sight words page 1, you will write the number 3 and 4 with a space next to each number for a word. Go ahead and write 3 and 4. Now, you will write sight word I tell you next to the numbers. Number 3. Write the word off. This word has 2 letters and it is spelled O-F. Number 4. Write the word and. This word has 3 letters and it is spelled A-N-D. Let's also review numbers from before. Last time, we had 2 other sight words. They were, number 1 is the word I. This word has 1 letter and it is spelled I. Number 2 is the word there. This word has 3 letters and it is spelled T-H-E. Fantastic! Now we will play a sight words game. I will say a word and you will point to the word in your notebook and we will say how to spell it. It will be sight words that you wrote before. Ready? Off. Point to the word off in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. Off. And. Point to the word and in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. And I. Point to the word I in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. I. There. Point to the word there in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. There. Off. Point to the word off in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. Off. There. Point to the word there in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. There. And. Point to the word and in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. And. I. Point to the word I in your notebook. Look at the word and read it. I. Great job with our sight words today. Remember, save those 4 pages in your notebook for your collections of sight words. We will add more sight words in our next session. Thank you very much. We move to Teacher Aaron for our next activity called Brilliant Blending.
Okay, students, before we go to our next activity, let's hear a short message.
What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor.
Now it is time for brilliant blending. Are you ready? At the beginning of a word, sometimes we have one sound and sometimes we have more than one sound. Today, we will practice some words that have one sound at the beginning. We will also practice some words that have 2 sounds at the beginning and 2 sounds at the end. Listen. Past. 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 At the beginning, we have one letter, P, that makes the sound P. A makes the sound A. And at the end, we have S and T together that make the sound ST. Now you can try this with me. Your turn.
Past. I. St. Past.
Again.
I. St. Past.
Great job. Our next word is cat. Cat. At the beginning, we have one letter, C, that makes the sound K. A makes the sound A. And at the end, we have one letter, T, that makes the sound T. Now you can try this with me. Your turn.
Cat. I. T. Cat.
Again.
I. T. Cat.
Great job. Our next word is crept. Crept. At the beginning, we have 2 letters, C and R, that makes the sounds cr. E makes the sound E. And at the end, we have P and T together that make the sound T. Now you can try this with me. Your turn. Crept.
Crept.
Again.
Crept.
Great job. Our next word is black. Black. At the beginning, we have two letters, B and L, together that make the sound bl. A makes the sound ah. And at the end, we have two letters, C and K, together that make the sound k. Now you can try this with me. Your turn.
Black. B. A. K. Black.
Again.
B. A. K. Black.
Great job. Our next word is rat. R-A-T. Rat. At the beginning, we have one letter, R, that makes the sound R. A makes the sound A. And at the end, we have the letter T that makes the sound T. Now you can try this with me. Your turn.
Rat. R-A-T. Rat.
Again.
R-A-T. Rat.
Great job. Our next word is thin. Thin. At the beginning, we have two letters, T and H, that make the sound th. I makes the sound A, and at the end, we have the letter N that makes the sound n. Now you can try this with me. Your turn.
Thin. Thin.
Again.
Thin.
Excellent work. It is time for our next activity called Write and Read. Now I'm going to spell a word for you to write. Then we will read the word together. Number 1. Write the word spelled P-A-S-T. Now try to read and pronounce this word on your own. Great job. Listen while I sound out the word. P-A-S-T. Past. The letter P makes the sound P. A makes the sound A. And S and T together makes the sound st. Your turn.
Past. Past.
Again.
Past. Past.
Great job. Number 2. Write the word spelled C R E P T. Now try to read and pronounce this word on your own. Great job. Listen while I sound out the word. Crept. The letters C and R together make the sound cur. E makes the sound e. And P and T make the sound pt. Your turn.
Crept.
Again.
Crept.
Great job. Number 3. Write the word spelled C-A-T. Now try to read and pronounce this word on your own. Great job. Listen while I sound out the word. Cat. The letter C makes the sound k. A makes the sound A. And T makes the sound T. Your turn.
Cat.
Again.
Cat.
Great job. Now it is time for our next activity called Listen and Write. Are you ready to listen and write? Get ready to listen carefully. Number 1. Write the sentence, a thin rat crept past the fat cat. I will say the sentence again for the last time so that you can write it. A thin rat crept past the fat cat. Good job! Now we are going to check and see if you wrote your words correctly. Number 1. A is a sad word and it is spelled A. Number 2. Thin. Thin has the sounds th, a, and it is spelled Thin. Number 3, rat. Rat has the sound r, a, t, and it is spelled R, A, T. Number 4, crept. Crept has the sounds ker, e, pt, and it is spelled C, R, E, P, T. Number 5, past. Past has the sounds p, a, st, and it is spelled P, A, S, T. Number 6, the. The is a sad word and it is spelled T, H, E. Number 7, cat. Cat has the sounds k, a, t, and it is spelled C, A, T. Now look at the word and read them as I say the sentence again. A thin rat crept past the fat cat. A thin rat crept past the fat cat. Great job. Remember, this is a statement. So, the first letter of the first word should be capitalized. And there should be a period at the end. What does the sentence "a thin rat crept past the fat cat" means? Crept is the past tense of the verb creep. Creep means to walk slowly and quietly. I imagine a rat walking slowly and quietly past a fat cat. I wonder why a rat would do this. Oh, I know. I think the rat was afraid that if the cat heard him, he might chase him and eat him. Let's read the sentence together again.
A thin rat crept past the fat cat.
Again.
A thin rat crept past the fat cat.
Great job. Thank you so much, students. It's time for our next activity called Read Aloud. Let's join Teacher Kubo.
Thank you, Teacher Aaron. Our last activity today is Read Aloud. I'm going to read you another passage about Liberia's water resources. This text comes from the Accelerated Quality Education Level 2 Teacher Guides and Learner Workbook series by USAID and the Ministry of Education. This passage is called Part 1. Liberia's water resources. Hearing this title makes me ask questions like, what are Liberia's water resources? What are the uses of Liberia water resources? How does this benefit Liberia? Part 1. Liberia's water resources. Liberia's rivers. Rivers gave Liberians a way to travel, transportation, water to drink, and water to wash with. Rivers are also used for fishing as a way to make money. There are also smaller creeks that come out of bigger rivers. The rivers have their sources in the mountains in inland Liberia. They all flow into the Atlantic Ocean. Inland fishing. Fishing in river is called inland fishing. It is a source of income and food. More and more Liberians are making fish farms and starting inland fishing businesses. The Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean is a major resource for Liberia. An ocean is a very large body of salt water found on the Earth's surface. The ocean that surrounds Liberia's coastline is called the Atlantic Ocean. Liberia has over 130 miles of coastal land next to the ocean. If you look at the map of Liberia, it shows the many counties that have coastal land. Wow, what an interesting reading. Based on what we learned, maybe we can answer some of the questions we had at the beginning. Number 1, what are Liberia's water resources?
In the passage, I remember reading the sentences, rivers are also used for fishing as a way to make money. There are also smaller creeks that come out of the bigger rivers. They all flow into the Atlantic Ocean. From those sentences, I can therefore say Liberia's water resources are creeks, rivers, and oceans.
Great. So, what are the uses of Liberia water resources?
Let me think. In the passage, I remember reading the sentences, rivers give Liberia the way to travel, water to drink, and water to wash with. Rivers are also used for fishing as a way to make money. The uses of Liberia's water resources are to travel, drink, and to wash with. They are also used for fishing.
Wow. So, how does this benefit Liberia?
I know this. In the passage, I remember reading the sentences, it is a source of income and food. More and more Liberians are making fish farms and starting inland fishing businesses. So, that means Liberians benefit from Liberia's water resources by making fish farms and starting inland fishing businesses.
Wow. What an informative passage. We learn a lot of Liberia's water resources, the creek, rivers, and the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you for listening. We have another interesting story for you in our next lesson. Let's stay safe and keep learning together. Thank you very much. We move to Teacher Aaron Bada, who's going to summarize our lesson for today.
Wow, great job, Teacher Kribble. Students, before we leave you, let's recap what we have learned today. We practiced the sentence, Liberians use rivers as a means of transportation. We practiced blending sounds to read and write words like past, cat, crept, black, rat, and thin. Lastly, we read and discussed the passage, Part 1, Liberia's water resources. Boys and girls, if you have any questions on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through this number, 0555670833. Again, if you have any questions on today's lesson, you can kindly send them through this number 0555670833. Thank you so much for listening.
Boys and girls, that is the end of our class today. We are so happy you were here with us. We hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye from me, J. Kubo T.K. Solomon.
And goodbye from me, Mr. Aaron T. Bala.